these apps are, I mean, the native ones you're talking about, they're mostly using it as a read resource.
Yeah. We've played around with kind of doing like a CRM type thing through WordPress, and then having a native app that is a manager for the CRM and that stuff. We didn't get too far. I mean, a lot of what was holding that back was the authentication stuff. So now that they're making progress with OAuth integration and stuff like that, hopefully it'll be much easier to do. Because you want to have authentication for those types of things.
Yeah, or some sort of gating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would argue that there's a lot of instances where you just want to make sure that it's just not junk coming in. But
exactly.
You also don't want them to have to create a WordPress account.
Right. Yeah.
So we actually built a system for a client that you've got 2 levels of API servers behind the scenes. So you're talking JSON and REST between those server calls. So WordPress is acting as the front end for the administrators who are running the system. It's the source of truth for all of the user database because there are great plugins for hooking into LDAP and other user sources. And then that dealt with mailing lists and sending stuff out. So there's SendPress, I think we used for stuff for that. And then the mobile app was talking to either WordPress or one of the other API servers doing JSON. So that when you log into the mobile app to start logging, kind of a little bit like Foursquare, but not quite. All of those events that are, the user authentication, the sign in, the sign up stuff on the mobile is hitting services in WordPress, going into the WordPress database. So you've got WordPress users. So now if they come to the web, you've got single sign-on. Their account is in the same place. Mm-hmm. So it makes a lot of sense to build these services in on the WordPress because now when you do come to the actual website part of it, everything's there. Nice. And the other thing is, eat your own dog food. If you're going to use those APIs mobile, build the front end for the WordPress to talk to your APIs, not just hack it as a quick query. And then whoever's going to then maybe build that mobile app would thank you in the long run because they can get everything they need as well. As you're building it out. So yeah. It's definitely a huge enabler though to be able to put it in as an API like this.
Yeah, and really the appeal, the only reason why we ever played around with building our own API for this stuff is because our clients love WordPress, and they when you talk to them about the effort and the cost that it'll go into not having a dynamic app where you can feed data to it, and you need to make changes. You want slider images to update remotely. When you say you can put it into WordPress for them, they're just excited. Versus saying, oh well, we actually need to build a custom app, a web app for you to manage that content. Now you've got to manage content in 2 places, and you get on a vicious cycle. One of the things I'll add too, with rolling your own, it's really nice too because you can, you have full flexibility of the data that you return back through the app.